This is a terrifying story about an interdimensional gateway hidden in an old abandoned inn. Alex had never believed in the supernatural. Ghosts were for movies. Demons were for children's bedtime warnings. He was a rational man. That's why he agreed to house-sit his uncle's old inn for the weekend. The inn was deep in the countryside, surrounded by dying trees and fog-thick mornings. It hadn't seen guests in years. His uncle said it was due to bad press, but Alex remembered hearing whispers about room 313 when he was younger. "Ignore that room," his uncle said before leaving. "It's locked. Always has been. You don't need to worry about it." Naturally, it was the only room Alex could think about. The first night was uneventful, just creaky floors, a cold draft, and the occasional scurrying in the attic. Nothing abnormal for an old building. The second night, the power went out. Alex lit some candles and settled into the lobby with a book. Around midnight, he heard footsteps above him. Deliberate, slow, heavy. He looked up room 313. That was impossible. Door was locked. He climbed the stairs, candle in hand. The hallway was freezing. The flame flickered wildly. The air felt thick, like breathing through wet cloth. He reached the door. It was open, just a crack. Inside was complete darkness. He whispered, "Hello?" No answer. But he felt watched. Something wasn't right. Shut the door and went back downstairs. He didn't sleep that night. On the third day, the inn felt wrong. The wall seemed closer. The air carried a smell of meat and damp stone. He tried to call his uncle. No signal. The landline was dead. At 3:13 p.m., the hallway clock stopped. He stared at it for a long time before realizing every clock in the inn now read 3:13, and none were ticking. That night, the door to room 313 stood wide open. He stepped inside. The room was pitch black, not dark wrong, like the absence of light was alive. His candle went out. He turned to leave. But the hallway was gone. He reached forward, hands brushing old, damp wallpaper. Then whispers, dozens of them, all around him, in him. "Stay. Join us. Help." A light flickered. A dim, sickly green bulb hanging from the ceiling buzzed to life. The room was no longer empty. On the bed sat a girl, knees to her chest, eyes wide and unblinking. She whispered without moving her lips. Behind her, in the corners of the room, were shapes, human-like, but wrong. Too tall, too thin. Limbs bent the wrong way. Watching, he backed away. But the door had vanished. Then a voice, deep, distorted, and impossibly close. "You came to believe." The girl turned her head. Her mouth opened unnaturally wide. From it, a scream that didn't sound like a scream, more like every regret he'd ever had, layered into a sound that broke him. He ran toward where the door should be. Now blackness swallowed him. When his uncle returned on Monday, the inn was exactly as he'd left it, except room 313 was now shut, tightened. A candle burned inside, untouched, and the hallway clock. It still reads 313. It always does, now.